So a ceremony is now underway just behind me at Ground Zero in New York. You can see crowds gathering to also pay their respects to the almost 3,000 people that lost their lives on this fatal day 21 years ago. A moment of silence was just held. It is one of 6 moments of silences that will be held today. One to mark each time each tower was hit, each time the tower came down, the crash at the Pentagon, and the crash of Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Here in New York, the emphasis is really on the families who have once again been invited to Memorial Plaza to read out the names of the loved ones that they lost. That's a ceremony that usually takes between 3 to 3.5 hours as families say their memories about those loved ones and also sometimes fill them in on things that they may have missed in their lives right now, like grandchildren being born. The Vice President Kamala Harris and her husband are in attendance here in New York, alongside New York Senator Chuck Schumer, the mayor, and many other officials. At the Pentagon, that's where President Joe Biden is. He is set to give remarks there later this hour. And First Lady Dr. Jill Biden is in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where she will be speaking. So across the nation, these are the official ceremonies taking place. But then there are many, many more in police stations and fire stations, houses of faith, schools. Lots of different ceremonies are taking place, races, volunteering, as people just really rally to unite and remember the fallen.
Yeah, and Melissa, this comes at the same time as another milestone. 1 year since the U.S.'s withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Right. Last year, when these ceremonies were taking place, there was a lot of fanfare to mark 20 years, but it was very fraught because it was under the chaos of that really chaotic withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan. This year, the Taliban are firmly in control of Afghanistan, which is by no means a win for the U.S., but it also feels like the world's attention has shifted. There is a new war being fought now in Ukraine, and we are marking today the 21st anniversary of 9/11. So for all those people 21 and under, 9/11 is something that they learn about from the history books, not like you and I who can remember what it was like when we saw images and first heard news of that attack. There are many organizations that are working very hard to keep the memory of that attack and the significance alive. But I think one of the things that is really most striking is that the self-proclaimed mastermind of the 9/11 attacks, that's Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, he and 4 others are still languishing in Guantanamo prison, behind bars, with all of their trials just being endlessly delayed. And critics and human rights groups are really calling this out as one of the biggest failures of the US's war on terror all these many years later.